The gentlelady from Vermont is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Smith, I want to discuss Volume 2 of your report, which summarizes the findings of your investigation into President Trump's hoarding of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago and his efforts to obstruct the FBI's investigation. Mr. Smith, is it generally the practice for a special counsel's report to be made public to the American people?
I want to say first, I'm limited what I can say about Volume 2 because of Judge Cannon's order. I can say generally that with respect to special counsels, there are regulations that direct a special counsel to draft a report. Whether that report becomes public is determined, the Attorney General has the authority to determine that.
To the best of your knowledge, was Special Counsel Mueller's report made public in full?
I know it was made public. I'm not sure if it was made public in full.
What about Special Counsel Hur's report?
My recollection is his report was made public in full. I believe that's correct.
And Special Counsel Weiss's report?
I do not know.
Okay. Now, I understand that the district judge, Aileen Cannon, the Trump appointee who oversaw the case in Florida, issued a gag order that prevents you from discussing any parts of the classified documents investigation that is not already public. I understand that, including your findings that you laid out in Volume 2 of that report. Am I correct that the reason your report is not available in full to the public is because of this gag order?
I wrote a report. The Attorney General, it was submitted to him. I understand generally that there's been litigation about whether this report would be public or not. I have not been a party to that litigation. I just know that there is an order, and I know the Department of Justice, the current Department of Justice, has interpreted that order in a way that I cannot speak about anything that could possibly be in that report and its findings.
And when Judge Cannon issued that gag order, she cited pending cases against Trump's co-defendants. Is that correct?
I'm sorry?
When Judge Cannon issued the gag order, she cited pending cases against Trump's co-defendants. Is that correct?
That's my recollection.
Are those cases still pending?
No, they're not.
No, they're not. So there is no reason, from where I sit, for this important information to be not made public. At this point, I want to turn now to President Trump's attacks on you. Trump has a playbook for how he handles people who try to hold him accountable. In August 2023, right after your office indicted him, President Trump shared that playbook on social media for everyone to see. He wrote, "If you go after me, I'm coming for you." Trump has said that you, Mr. Smith, should be investigated and put in prison. He called you a disgrace to humanity, a radical left Marxist, a criminal. In fact, Trump has used the words deranged Jack Smith 185 times on Truth Social. How do you think that these statements have impacted you, your staff, and your investigation?
With respect to me, I think the statements are meant to intimidate me. I will not be intimidated. I think these statements are also made as a warning to others what will happen if they stand up. And I am, as I said, I'm not going to be intimidated. We did our work pursuant to department policy. We followed the facts and we followed the law, and that process resulted in proof beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed serious crimes. I'm not going to pretend that didn't happen because he's threatening me.
And Mr. Smith, do you believe that President Trump's Department of Justice will find some way to indict you?
I believe that they will do everything in their power to do that because they've been ordered to by the president.
That's very concerning, obviously. It's very concerning to all of us, at least on this side of the aisle. This is Trump's playbook at work. Complain loudly, gin up hatred and resentment, then express a hope that somebody will do something, but never explicitly order anyone to act, and then watch as his followers and loyalists go after their targets. This is what happened on January 6th. Trump stood at the ellipse and gave a campaign speech to his supporters, and he said, "If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore." And I think it's clear that his intimidation will stop at nothing. I want to speak on behalf, in closing, I want to speak on behalf
No
of
closing,
people.
Chairman, regular order.
No, I'm sorry.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm
regular
sorry,
order.
you have gone over numerous times.
Time belongs to the gentlelady
I am
from
taking my
Vermont.
few
I'll let you
moments.
go a couple more
Thank
seconds.
you, Mr. Chair.
Like I have all day.
Thank you. On behalf of the people of the state of Vermont, thank you for all of your 30 years of service to this country, and to the police officers sitting here. I'm ashamed that you have.
Jack Smith said he believes that Trump's Department of Justice will do everything in their power to indict him, warning that the political climate surrounding ongoing investigations has become increasingly volatile. According to Smith, the possibility that a future administration aligned with Donald Trump could attempt to prosecute him is something he takes seriously. He argued that the current atmosphere of intense political conflict has blurred the line between legal accountability and political retaliation, raising concerns about how the justice system could be used in future power struggles. Smith emphasized that his role as a prosecutor has always been guided by the law and the evidence, but he acknowledged that the backlash to the investigations involving Trump has made him a target of political criticism. In his view, if Trump or his allies regain influence over the Department of Justice, there is a real risk that the institution could be pressured to pursue charges against those who previously investigated the former president, turning the legal system into a battleground for political revenge. During a congressional hearing, the discussion focused on Volume 2 of Special Counsel Jack Smith's report, which outlines the findings of the investigation into former President Donald Trump's handling of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago and alleged efforts to obstruct the FBI's investigation. When asked whether it is standard practice for a special counsel's report to be released to the public, Smith explained that regulations require a special counsel to prepare a report, but the decision to make that report public ultimately rests with the Attorney General. He noted that previous reports from special counsels, such as those by Robert Mueller and Robert Hur, were released publicly, though he was unsure about the exact details of each release. Smith also explained that he is limited in what he can say about the report because of a gag order issued by U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon, who oversaw the classified documents case in Florida. According to Smith, he submitted the report to the Attorney General, but ongoing litigation and the Department of Justice's interpretation of the judge's order prevent him from discussing any of its findings publicly. The questioning then shifted to former President Trump's repeated public attacks on Smith. Lawmakers referenced Trump's social media posts and statements accusing Smith of misconduct and calling for him to be investigated or imprisoned, including Trump's frequent use of the phrase deranged Jack Smith. In response, Smith said he believes those statements were intended to intimidate him and send a warning to others involved in holding powerful figures accountable. However, he emphasized that he and his team followed Department of Justice policies, the facts, and the law throughout the investigation, and he insisted that intimidation would not change the conclusions reached by the investigation. When asked whether he believed a future Justice Department under Trump might attempt to prosecute him, Smith responded that he believed they would likely do everything in their power to indict him if directed by the president. The exchange concluded with a lawmaker thanking Smith for his decades of public service and expressing concern about the political pressure surrounding the investigation and its aftermath.